Was I wrong for keeping my mom and my fiancée away from each other? I'm 32 years old and have been with my partner for 8 years. At first, she and my mom got along okay, not best friends, but things were fine. But after we had kids, everything changed. Now, when they're in the same room, it's like walking on a tightrope. They barely tolerate each other, and it only takes one small thing for everything to blow up. Most of the tension comes from my mom giving unsolicited parenting advice. She'll correct the kids in front of my fiancé, and that really gets under her skin. I don't mind the advice personally. I know it's coming from a place of love, but for my partner, it feels like criticism and disrespect. So, to keep the peace, I've started keeping them apart. My mom asks to come over, and I usually make excuses just to avoid the drama. Honestly, I do it for my own sanity. Life is just easier when they don't see each other, but I know it means my mom sees the grandkids a lot less. And that's where I start to wonder, am I being unfair? Am I wrong for doing this just to avoid conflict? You were the jerk, but not for the reason you think. There is no side to pick here. You and your partner are parents and supposed to be a team. Your mother offers unsolicited advice to your partner, read criticism on her parenting. This causes conflict. It doesn't matter whether it comes from a place of love or dislike. Your partner is frustrated because you clearly don't back her up. My advice is not to keep them apart, but start supporting the mother of your kids verbally. Obviously, Mom, we don't need parenting advice, please. Mom, please don't correct the children. When we the parents are right here. Privately, Mom, the reason I don't invite you around is because you keep correcting Jane, and I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. Mom, if you continue to behave this way, then we will be leaving. Ask you to leave. Stop supporting your interfering mother and grow a spine and support your partner. Was I the jerk for giving my friend my leftovers? The situation went like this. I was about to go on a long trip, so a friend, let's call him Roger, visited me and offered to get something to eat at McDonald's. But before that happened, 2 other friends, let's call them Joseph and Francis, also came over to visit me before my trip. The thing is, my friend Francis was going through a tough financial situation, so most of the time our group of friends, a group Roger isn't part of, would pay for him when we dined out or cover his share for drinks and things like that. Since I already had plans with Roger, Francis and Joseph decided to stay at my place until I came back from McDonald's. Before I left, Francis asked me to bring him something. I didn't take it very seriously and went to McDonald's with Roger. I'm not a big fan of McDonald's burgers, so I didn't finish mine and decided to take half of it back for Francis. When I got home, I offered Francis the half I hadn't eaten, and he went crazy, really mad. He told me I was selfish, inconsiderate, and rude for giving him my leftovers instead of a full burger. While he was in the middle of his outburst, our other friend Joseph ate the burger, giggling as he watched the show. Eventually, Francis calmed down, but he insisted that I was the a-hole. Your friend wasn't asking for anything expensive. You mentioned that he just asked for something, and you promised to bring it. Instead, you gave him half a bitten burger, which feels inconsiderate, especially during a tough time for him. The issue isn't about the cost. Even grabbing something simple from the Savor menu would have kept your word. It seemed as if you didn't care enough to get him his own food, despite promising to do so. No one expects you to be a hero. Follow through on your promises. Therefore, yeah, you were the jerk. Was I the jerk for asking my mom to be quieter in her house? Hi, I'm an early 20s bartender currently moving out of my family home. This month has been extra long shifts, training new staff, and moving everything I own. I work late evenings and nights, usually 7 hours, but some shifts lately have been 10. I have a genetic disorder called Fabry's disease that makes falling plus staying asleep harder. You lose energy quicker, and your body needs more recovery time. All this to say, when I woke up this morning at 11, I'd planned to sleep till 12:30 to my mom and her fiancé's loud talking and slamming doors and cabinets. I didn't feel too good. I waited for half an hour hoping it would die down. No such luck. I walked out into the kitchen, bleary-eyed, irritable, full body soreness, and I pleaded my case for hushed voices for 1 more hour. My soon-to-be stepdad said welcome to adulthood, an unhelpful comment in any scenario, and my mom pulled me aside to say they had decided on an impromptu BBQ, something that surprised me since that's never occurred before in my 20-plus years of living, and to get over it. She brushed me off, and I felt pretty shitty about the whole interaction. Here's where it starts to get dicey, and I do something I'm not proud of. I slam my own door shut to show how loud and unpleasant it is. Now my mom starts texting me. She says no one I live with is ever gonna care if I'm sleeping, and that I'm selfish. Yesterday I had confided in her that I'm struggling greatly with loneliness because everyone around me is partnered and my last partner was abusive. She says you're selfish, you only care about you, this is why you're alone and no one loves you. She said no one can stand to be around me and no decent person would tolerate my poor me attitude. She said good luck finding someone, princess. It was devastating to read. It was the most vulnerable spot she could have hit me in. I blocked her after that and then unblocked her 10 minutes later when I felt guilty. We haven't talked more than that. I've talked to a few friends today about what happened. They say she's not right about me and I've not been selfish with them, but I don't know. I'm too shaken and I haven't been able to stop crying more than a few minutes. I feel way too raw to think clearly. I really think what she said was way too intense for that situation, but she could have a point about me. She could see something my friends don't. I don't know how I'll face her cause I'll definitely start to cry and she could take that as confirmation that I'm a spoiled brat. I don't know what to do anymore, man. Everyone's wrong you for telling her to be quiet in her own home during the day. Her for telling you you're selfish and will always be alone. And for ripping you apart by using the absolute worst things she can find for being a shit about her making noise during the day in her own home. Your stepdad-to-be was also harsh, but 100% correct. Welcome to adulthood and the joys of sharing a home.